Before I get to the review, has anyone noticed that the fun rock music they use in the trailer for this film is weirdly inappropriate for the footage you're watching on screen?
We have to shut the system down.
Wow! Tornadoes killing, planes crashing, people dying on a mass scale. Hello, my name's Harry Kirby, and welcome to my non-spoilers review for Geostorm. So when a series of satellites designed to control the weather attack Earth, it's a race against time to find the real threat and prevent a geostorm, which will wipe out everyone and everything. So let's start with the positives. The first 20 minutes or so of this film gave me a feeling of nostalgia and made me think of those old 90s disaster movies like Deep Impact, Armageddon, Independence Day. So on that level it was quite enjoyable to kind of think back to those 90s movies. There are some parts of the script that are so bad, they're good. Some key examples: we get the holy trinity of gods. So we get the my God, dear God, God knows. If we had got a may God have mercy on us all, I would have been truly happy. At one point a character says something to the president character that he doesn't like, and then he turns around to the camera and says, "Why? Because I'm the goddamn president of the United States, that's why." And that made me laugh. The other positive is Ed Harris. I love him in pretty much anything he's in. He does a good job as usual. He's playing like the standard army general, but he plays it well. Okay, time to get on to the negatives now, and there are quite a few. So I think the biggest problem with this film straight off the bat is the fact that it takes itself way too seriously. It's a film about satellites setting off megastorms across the country, and it plays it completely straight. It has no awareness of the fact that it's like a silly film. So that leads the film to be boring. There's barely any of the actual destruction, that you see in the trailers in the film. It's just lots and lots of exposition. Basically, characters talking to each other in different rooms or across, satellite links. They're just spouting exposition to each other. So it's like, how long have I known you, Frank? 8 years, ever since Afghanistan. Exactly. So I know that you know more about this satellite than anyone in the world. And it's just like that constantly, and it's just so dull. Also, when the destruction does come, you don't really care, because none of the main characters are put in harm's way. So Gerard Butler is up in space, our other main character is running around the White House. So they're just these huge CGI cities with CGI crowds running around, and you have no connection to any of the people. So why should you really care if they're all getting wiped out? There are way too many characters in this film. You've got the International Space Station where the satellites are all kind of being activated from. You've got all the people down on Earth, and you don't get to spend any time with the characters. Then at the end of the film, when they try and create moments between all these little characters and Gerard Butler, none of them count for anything because they've barely been on screen. There's a character, I won't spoil anything, we'll call him Sanchez for the sake of this. A character called Sanchez. Gerard Butler's in danger and there's something bad's about to happen, and Sanchez swoops in at the last minute to save him. Then Gerard Butler, looks to the screen and is like, "Sanchez, you son of a bitch." But you're like, I don't know this guy. He's only been on screen for 30 seconds. Why do I care? Speaking of Gerard Butler, he obviously plays the main character in this film, and he's fine. He's kind of playing like a standard action hero. Although he's also supposed to be the man that created this weather system that kind of saved the Earth, this huge global weather system. I just don't really believe him as essentially the greatest and smartest engineer on the planet. But other than that, he was fine. I also noticed that Gerard Butler seemed to randomly lose and gain weight and facial hair as the film went on. I don't know if they shot this in 2 sections or something, but it was really weird to see him kind of lose 2 stone all of a sudden in his beard, and then it'd be back for the next scene. Okay, on to my final negative, and I think maybe one of the biggest ones, and that is, you have seen this film 100 times before. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's just a film from the 90s. I have no idea why it's been made now. You've got the kind of text at the bottom of the screen, Washington DC. It looks exactly like something out of the 90s. You've got lots of people sat in control rooms looking worried and scared. Then you've got lots of people celebrating in control rooms like, "Wow, we did it!" You've got the same cheesy dialogue as a film from the 90s. The VFX aren't that much better. The whole disaster movie premise, it just all feels like something from the 90s. If you enjoy that kind of thing, it might be a bit of a positive to you, but to me it felt like I've literally seen this film before. Okay, so time to give this film a score. Overall, it was a pretty bad film. You had some positives in the so bad it's good moments. A decent performance from Ed Harris, as I said. But overall, it's dull. You've seen it all before. dodgy CGI, dodgy script. So unfortunately this film is basic crap. I hope you enjoyed my review, guys, and obviously this is a new channel, so if you feel like subscribing, that'd be much appreciated, and give this video a like. Also, I really appreciate your comments. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I've done my review, now you do yours too. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with a clip of the Great Snake Plissken showing you what you should do if a tsunami or giant tidal wave hits.